Good morning, everybody. It's Gwen, and we're coming to the end of camp. And I've loved being part of this with you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you found it helpful, and I hope it made you think of some things that maybe can make your life move forward in a great way. So this is an action plan. Just wanted to go over this and explain a little bit about what this looks like and what my idea is going forward, what I'm going to do with my action plan. Because this has been great for me over the last several days to be able to just remind myself of the things I need to do and the things that actually make me feel better. That's really what it is. This isn't really a chore. It shouldn't be a chore. It should be a gift that we give ourselves. And so if you don't do anything moving forward, though, if you learned all this information and you don't do anything with it, then it's kind of a waste of time, to be honest with you. Look at the quote at the top where it says, "Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action." Because action is what's going to change things. And it's going to take several weeks before you find yourself in a routine that feels really comfortable, that you can own as your new lifestyle. And so what I want you to do is think about the things we've talked about. We've talked about exercise and nutrition and reducing toxic load and stress and sleep. And I want you to pick your primary focus area going forward. So what's that going to be for you? For me, my primary focus area is going to be nutrition. And so that's something that I know, I already know this. Like, this for me is just really relearning, and it's probably the same for you as well. That I know what I need to do. I know I shouldn't be eating sugar, and I know that bread is like a downfall for me. And yet I've let that creep back into my life. And I might go through and kind of have a few days where it's great, and then I slip back into a habit. But so my primary focus is going to be getting rid of the carbs and increasing my vegetables. That's what I'm starting with, because I already drink a lot of water. I already do a lot of other things nutritionally. I don't eat really very many chemicals. I pretty much eat food that's real food. But for me, the bread and the sugar, it's a killer. So that's going to be what's going to be for me. And then my secondary focus, because you can also have as many focuses as you want. Just do what's not overwhelming for you, because you want to make this accomplishable. And if you do make too many lists, you're gonna not have an easy time doing it. So you're going to be better off having a primary focus area, kind of getting that nailed down, and then moving to something else. A secondary area is fine, especially if they kind of go hand in hand. And so for me, my secondary focus is going to be getting back into yoga. I mentioned that in one of the videos earlier in this week, and I'm going to get back into the classroom. But what I've been doing just as camp has been going on is just getting up in the morning and getting on my pillow. I can't even sit on the floor right now cross-legged as comfortably as I used to. Now, I'm not going to beat myself up for that. What I did is I grabbed a pillow and I stuck that underneath me, and it made it totally possible for me to sit there and do my yoga. I went back to when I was going to yoga with just a great yoga teacher, Anasara. She introduced us to a singer whose name was Snatam Kaur, and I love her. And so I have that on my phone. And so I sat down, and the last few days I'm doing it every morning. And truthfully, I'm doing 15 minutes. That's it. Because that's really right now as much as my body can take. And so I'm sitting cross-legged, I'm listening to her music, and I'm just doing the stretches that I remember. Your body remembers exactly what it needs. And so I've been doing those stretches. And what's happening is that the memories of what it was like back when we were doing that, a couple of my friends got together and we did this on a regular basis. And I'm remembering just the good feelings of that and the things that she taught us. And so I'm going to do this for a while as I get ready to go back into the classroom. I love it. Like, I love listening to that yoga music, and that itself calms my body down. So what's it going to be for you? That's the question. And why is it worth changing? And so for me, why it's worth changing is because I don't feel good. I'm stiff. I go to try and bend over and pick something up, and it's harder. Or I eat food that I shouldn't eat, and I feel crappy, and I just kind of go like, oh, I get mad at myself. And so for me, it's worth changing because I don't want to have those feelings. And I also know that I'm better when I'm in a better place food wise. I'm in a better place with my routine of stretching and just connecting and doing some kind of light meditation, which is kind of what happens automatically when you're doing yoga. And it feels great when you're done. So what is it for you? Like, why is it worth doing some of the things? Because they might get hard. And if you can write down on this paper what it is about this that is encouraging you, and what's the goal for you, and why is it worth changing? When it does get hard, you can go back to this sheet and you can remember what it is that's important to you. And so then the next step is, what actions am I committed to taking in the next 7 days? So we're doing this for 7 days, and then you can reevaluate it, after that period of time. So make a plan, because if you don't make a plan, you're going to plan to fail. That's just the way it is. If you don't have some goal set, then you have nothing to shoot for, and you just forget. It's super easy to forget when you don't have things written down. So maybe for you, it's going to be making getting rid of one toxic cleaning product and making a natural cleaning product. Maybe you're going to just, like me, you're going to do some small amount of exercise. Maybe you're going to just take a walk around the block. Maybe you commit to every day doing one, like a walk around the block or a walk up the street and back. And if you make it 5 of the 7 days, that's a huge win. So what is it going to be for you? Like for me, what I'm going to do is I've gone out and I've bought some food that I know is good for me to eat. So my plan is to just stick with that food, the things that I love. And it's easy right now because there's a lot of fruits and vegetables that are things that I love. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make more cleaning products for my home. I have a tendency to just let them run out. And then actually, truthfully, I use some e-cloths. So I sometimes don't even use detergent of any kind when I'm cleaning, but I love the smell of like On Guard cleaner when I clean my kitchen up and I spray it, or lemon cleaner or something like that. So I'm going to try and do better at just making my cleaning products. I also want to make this toilet bowl cleaner that somebody had posted in our group, where you put some baking soda and some essential oils and something else. I can't remember what the other thing was. I have everything, and I want to make these little like bath toilet cleaning things that I can just drop in and then kind of swish the thing around in the toilet after 10 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. So from the things that we talked about in Oil Camp 2, what action steps are you going to commit to each day? Maybe for people I know one of the people in camp was saying that they started a new job. And so maybe for you, it's going to be getting your 7.5 hours of sleep. Everybody's different. And just don't make it too long. Like, don't pick too many things so that it makes it too hard, or you have to remember all the things you want to do. Pick your top ones and just say, these are the things I'm going to commit to for the next 7 days. So, and how do I celebrate it then when I'm done? Like, what are you going to do after 7 days, when you've looked back and you've been like, wow, 5 of the 7 days I did, whatever it was I said, or maybe 3 of the 7 days, just you did it more than you did last week if you've made a commitment, and then you go forward. So how are you going to celebrate? Are you going to get your nails done? You're going to take a walk? Are you going to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a latte? Are you going to, what is it for you that you're going to celebrate? Because we should celebrate our wins, not just discount them and then move on. My personality is, I work on stuff really hard. I accomplish my goal, and then I just go, okay, great. What's the next goal? And I need to pause, and I need to say to myself, all right, this was great. Like, you just did yoga 7 days in a row. Not, oh, it was only 10 minutes, or, oh, you should have done more, but that's amazing. And you feel great. And it's such a good feeling when you've accomplished something that you've set out to do. And be gentle on yourself if you don't get it done exactly perfectly. So what are you going to celebrate? So write that down. Like, write down what your celebration is going to be. And why is this even important? Like, so what happens sometimes when we start a new program, it sounds great in the beginning and we work really hard in the beginning, but then a few days in, our motivation takes a nap and we don't want to be motivated anymore. So by having these things written down, maybe post them on your refrigerator or post them somewhere in your bathroom or something where you're going to see them, so that you can remember what it is you're going to be doing when it gets a little bit hard, when your muscles start to hurt if you've done some exercise, or when you're feeling really hungry when you're trying to cut back on eating snacks at night, things like that. So post this somewhere so that you continue to stay motivated. What we want you to do, and the goal of Oil Camp 2, is to just help you feel better, help you kind of fall in love with taking care of yourself, setting yourself up as a priority. Our health is such a gift. And I think for me, because I'm 65 now, like, I start to be more aware that your body, if you're not taking care of it, it doesn't take care of you as time goes on. And things break down maybe sooner than they have to. And so for me, the gift for me in this is reminding myself that I want to be strong so I can lift up my grandkids. I want to be able to, I have my doTERRA business. I love doing my doTERRA business. I want to stay healthy so that I can be a light for other people going forward. And so what is it for you that, what is it that you want out of your life going forward that, if I feel better, I'm going to be able to do more? I'm going to have more energy to do the things I love. I'm going to be able to show up in the world in ways that are really, really meaningful, in the ways I want to show up. But when I don't feel good because I haven't had enough sleep, or I'm lethargic because of what I'm eating, or I'm just sluggish because I'm not exercising, I'm sitting down and I'm watching TV too many times and I don't really want to, but that's kind of the path of least resistance. So what is it for you that that you picture yourself doing in the world that's going to be great? The world needs you. Like, the world needs us to show up as our best self. And so by taking care of our body, we have a ability to be able to do that longer. Okay. I love the tagline for doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack, is to help us live healthier longer so that we can be more effective in how we are in relationship with people and how we do our work. So I'm just grateful that you guys did camp. The last thing down at the bottom is on the Because I Love Myself. What I want you to do is just each day, just make a mark if you did the thing you wanted to do. So at the end of a week, you have an actual visual that I did these things. That's also something that's really good to see, that kind of like the day when I talked about not wanting to go to the gym, and I pushed myself and I went there. That meant I could come home and I could cross that off on the list that I did that on Tuesday. And it feels great to have that kind of sense of accomplishment. Because the bottom line is what the quote says at the bottom, is that you matter and you're worth it, and doing good matters. And you're going to be able to do so much more good if you're feeling great. So that's it, guys. And we have a few other posts that are going to be following here, and then we will be wrapping things up and giving away some prizes. And I hope you have had a great experience. If you have any questions or any suggestions, if you could post them in the comments, we would really appreciate that. And I hope you have a great day. Let's see if I can turn this off.